Hello and welcome to today's yoga question. I'm Lizzie Lasater, and joining us is Judith Hanson Lasater. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Lizzie.
So today we are back with our Preggo Poses series. My question is, I'm wondering if you would be willing to share with us some of the mistakes that you yourself made during pregnancy and your advice for how we can avoid them.
All right. Time for revelation.
Because I have to say the genesis behind this question is that Mom has been giving me advice. Of course, I'm 8 months pregnant with twins now. Throughout this pregnancy, Mom has been giving me advice. And then slowly it's revealed that she's like, oh yeah, that's because I did that. I'm like, what? You're telling me to do all this stuff that you're telling me not to do all this stuff that you yourself did. So I want the moment of truth.
Well, first let me say good judgment comes from experience, but experience comes from bad judgment.
Exactly.
So this is the big one, especially if this is your first kid. What I did was I tried to act like prove I wasn't pregnant, like in some kind of crazy way. Like, well, I'm pregnant, but I'm Superwoman. I can still do anything. I tried to go jogging late into my second trimester. It was horrible.
Sounds like miserable.
I was holding my belly. I was trying to run. It was ridiculous. Because walking briskly, wasn't enough for a Superwoman. But the worst thing I did this with my first pregnancy. Handstand in the center of the room at 7 months pregnant. Just to prove that I could do it. And no one was spotting me either. It was ridiculous. Do not do this at home. Do not do this at all. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Because there was something about the ego wanting to prove to myself that I was better or different or I could do whatever, that I wasn't going to let anything get in the way. I was focused on the yoga and not on the pregnancy. I had to learn that.
It sounds macho in a strange way.
It was very male. So I like to say that perspective doesn't shape your life. Perspective is your life. And pregnancy is a wonderful time to begin to shift your perspective about yoga. So here's a mantra. Let yourself be pregnant.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, let yourself be pregnant. It is 9 months out of your entire life. And handstands in the center of the room at 7 months do not make labor better, are risky, could affect, I can think of a million reasons not to do that. Let yourself be pregnant. So instead of thinking, this is another perspective change, of all of the things that you can't do, focus on what you are doing. Let me tell you this. Your second brother had a really great soccer, or some people call it football, coach. And he taught them this concept of the goalie magnet. He said, when you go up to kick the ball into the goal, don't look at the goalie, because what you look at, that's where you'll kick it. The goalie is like a magnet. So look at where you want the ball to go. Focus on what you want, not on what you fear. So instead of thinking what you can't do, focus on what you can do. Let your yoga get bigger. Add more meditation, add your relaxation, add reading, add contemplation, add pranayama, add other things about your spiritual unfoldment that are not just asana.
Napping, for example.
At the age of 72,
yes,
I can tell you that your asana is going to change when you age. What you want to do, what you can do, what you enjoy doing, it's going to shift in every decade of your life. So if we hold on to what we do as a very young person, we might be doing more later. Don't hold on. Don't be attached to the yoga being asana.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do asana, but you just think it's great to be able to get up off the floor easily.
At this point, yes, I'm happy
You have to do that with awareness.
Yeah.
So
I've been thinking about that actually
yes,
especially in the last month or so as I'm getting big. I've been thinking of seeing what else can I see, and my asana practice is getting smaller in terms of, I think there's about 10 poses that I really like and feel good. And so I do those maybe every other day. I don't really want to do them every day because frankly, I'm getting a little bored with the poses. So I'll go walking one day and then I'll do, a asana practice the other day. But what I've been thinking is trying to see one thing, for example, cooking. If I cook a meal, can I see that as almost a way of inhabiting my body? It's not quite asana, but can I see it as a sport or as exercise? How many times do I squat down to get something out of the dishwasher? Can I see that instead of like a burden? Oh, I've got to squat down and get this thing. Okay, this is a chance. I'm doing one of my 10 squats of the day. Great. Like this is helping me. This is great for my body.
Stretch your calves out a lot too.
Yeah.
Whenever you can. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have tight calves and we don't stretch them enough anyway.
Yeah. All right. So one mistake you made was pretending you're not pregnant, and the other one was handstand in the center of the room. Are those your two mistakes?
Those are my two true confessions.
Okay.
And by the time I got to you, I was letting myself be pregnant.
Well, we talked about inversions in an earlier video. So if you want to look back at this series, you can hear Mom's philosophy about inverting during pregnancy. Shall we leave it there for this video, Mom?
Yes.
Thank you so much. You can find Mom on the internet. She is at www.judith.yoga, and you can click through.
Actually, I have one more thought.
Okay. Wait, let me just say you can click through from there to her Instagram or join her newsletter. And if you want to find me, please go to www.shavasana.life. What's your last thought for us?
Well, sorry to interrupt, but you told me this actually. I did not know this, that you understood from what you've read that they now know that when the mother is moving, like walking or swimming, and her heart rate goes up, because she's doing a cardiovascular, mild or moderate cardiovascular, the fetal heart rate goes up too.
That's what I read, yeah.
So I think that if you go for maybe do 20 minutes of yoga, 20 minutes of walking, 20 minutes of relaxation, I mean, you're helping your baby get in shape for labor too.
That's what
I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a time that you can really think about your baby and talk to your baby when you're walking. We're walking now. Look at what we're seeing. We're seeing the trees. We're seeing the puppy, whatever. But I think that is a fascinating thing.
Mm-hmm.
That labor is the metabolic equivalent of swimming 9 miles. So you need to be in shape for labor.
Yeah. But I think exactly in the context of talking about yoga, I don't think we necessarily need to get that shape from asana practice. I think, like you're saying, for me, walking has been great. I've been obsessed with swimming laps. The first half of my pregnancy, I still rode my bicycle. So those things for me are what I'm thinking of as helping me get in shape or stay in shape for labor, as opposed to thinking, oh, I need to go now do a super rigorous asana practice.
No, and you can also use this time to do some mild pranayama, because being in touch with your breathing and coordinating it with contractions during labor is key. Going with your breath, going to your breath in labor is the key. It really is. And letting go and going to your breath. So anything that helps you do that now. You see, it's already embedded in you though. When you stub your toe or something, oh, you start to breathe and you breathe with it. Yeah. So breathe into the contractions. And that's a big part of yoga that we can do more of now. So thank you all.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Namaste, Mama.